My name is Heidi Corona. I'm an intuitive life coach with Spirit Speaks. My website is www.spiritspeaks.org. I also have a Facebook page. I put those links in the description box. Let me give you just a real quick introduction to me, and then we're going to chat a little bit about self-love, and it won't be boring, guys, I promise. I am Heidi Corona. It is so nice to meet you. If you don't already know who I am a psychic medium, energy healer, animal communicator, and pretty much a divine channel for whatever spirit needs to bring through. I'm aligned with love and light and God. First, we need to talk about self-care, okay? There's self-care and there's self-love. They are two kind of different things, but two kind of the same things, okay? So let's talk about self-care. I am a facts kind of person. I like to know what I'm talking about, and I like everyone to be following me, okay? So I got the dictionary meaning here of self-care, okay? Self-care is the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. Okay, so the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. To me, that says I'm taking my vitamins, I'm taking showers, I'm eating pretty much what I need to be eating to be nutritious, or I'm drinking water, etc., etc. That's self-care. And I know we talk about deeper self-care, emotional self-care. I don't want to pick or quibble right now, just to talk about right now, just the basics. The basics of self-care is medicine, hygiene, nutrition. Okay, that's just the notes I have. I'm sure there are others. This is not all-inclusive. I am not a doctor of any darn thing at all. This is my experience and my knowledge here, and Spirit is helping me bring it through. So that is the definition for self-care. There's also another secondary definition for self-care, and it says the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. That's also in self-care, okay? And that tells me, okay, the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness. Okay, well-being is kind of, to me, makes me think like my physical safety, right? But, and happiness, that unlocks to me just a little bit more like, oh, my emotions as well. I need to be protecting my emotions as well. I have a right to be happy, right? This is what I'm getting from this. So in particular during periods of stress. So that tells me who's going to protect me during periods of stress? Me. That's self-care. Who's going to remove me from a stressful environment that's not conducive to me? Me. That is self-care. I'm doing it for me. You're doing it for you. They are doing it for them. That's where boundaries are. So on a side note to this self-care, I have standing up for myself. That's self-care. Releasing negativity from my life. That is self-care. I release negativity from my life. Yes, I do. Protecting myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically on all levels, not only from others, okay, we kind of established that a little bit, but also protecting me from myself, okay? And these are those thoughts, my heart's a pounding. These are those thoughts that we have that aren't good about us. Listen here, guys. If there's anyone in the world that can have a healthy, loving compassion for you, it's you. Right? We look to our higher selves for that healthy, loving compassion of ourselves. Well, guess what? Be that higher self right here and now. You. And look at yourself and love yourself with compassion. Love yourself the way you want someone to love you, because that love will not be solid if you find it outside of yourself before you find it inside of yourself. That's an imbalance, okay? Whew. So let's talk about self-love. That was just simply self-care, right? Self-care, protection. So self-love is a much simpler, smaller explanation here. Self-love. Listen, I got it. I have to just, I laugh. Regard for one's own well-being and happiness. Blah. that sounded like boring and stale as all heck, right? I think self-care sounded a bit more exciting than self-love, right? I'm like, oh man, so let me just, self-care was like, I have an active role in protecting my own well-being and happiness, but self-love is a regard for my own well-being and happiness. That felt so stale to me. I was like, what? I thought self-love should be like a better thing, like more, more, right? So I said, wait a minute now. If self-love is not more than self-care, then what the heck is? I looked up the definition of love. There are so many definitions of love, but the very first definition of love is an intense feeling of deep affection. Whew. An intense feeling of deep affection. That is love. I want that love to be my self-love, not that creepy old other definition that they just plugged in there. An intense feeling of deep affection from me. Who's going to have that if I can't have that first, right? So self-care. And now I'm drawn to say, those of you who are trying to draw love into your life, it happens. It's going to happen. Everything is a lesson. Everything happens. But the first place that you're really, that I know that I want to start is loving me. Because no one's going to know how to love me if I don't teach the universe how to love me, right? I'm called to say this here. Take it as it resonates. But those of you who are having feelings or you're wondering about relationships in your life, and I'm talking like, okay, any relationships in your life, but I really feel like romantic type relationships. Okay. Okay, check it out. My guides want me to give you a real quick example. I went shopping for a car today. Okay, I'm looking online and I see all these photos and this car looks like exactly what I want. So I'm like, heck yeah, I call the guy, I'm going to head right over there. Well, I'm heading over there and then I have a problem getting all the money and this and that, whatever. And I'm like, look here, Spirit, I understand. If this is a stumbling block for whatever reason, I get it. But either way, I'm going to end up buying something and I need this money. So regardless, I get to the place, I finally jumped those hurdles and I got there and it took about 30 seconds or less for me to see that this car was not what I had thought it was going to be. And it just like, boop, 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 just fell apart in my vision. And I said, look here, guy, I'm not trying to be rude or anything else, but thank you for your time. I appreciate that, but I'm going to keep shopping around. But this is what I'm called to share with you guys. It can be that simple. Those signs. You guys see the signs that I mentioned? The signs that I mentioned on the way there. When I got there, like all these red lights and warning flags. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. That was Spirit. Like, Heidi, this is not the one for you. Heidi, this is not the one for you. But I went ahead and I wasted my time and I experienced it, right? And I said, wow, Spirit, I can recognize just like that. That this was not for me, and how easy it was when I just allowed myself to feel into it, right? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. All these not likes are kind of adding up, and I know that I'm wasting my time. It didn't resonate with my energy because I want something better, okay? And I want to tell you guys right now, take those cars and make them people, make them relationships in your life to examine, okay? Because if you're getting those hurdles, you're jumping all those big hoops and obstacles, or you're having those clashes with people and you're trying to make them fit, trying to make them fit in your life, that's all you're ever going to continue to do is try to make them fit somewhere where they don't belong. So once you free up that space in your life, once you free up that space, those negative relationships I'm talking about, people who aren't good to you, take it as it resonates. Some of us don't have that, but some of us have that and nobody knows. And I feel it in here, guys, and I'm sending that to you, okay? Once you release those kinds of things and you increase that self-love, love yourself like a lover would love you. Love yourself the way you want someone to love you. Treat yourself. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Be infatuated with you. If you're hungry, make what you want. If you want to do something, do what you want to do. Be you in every moment and love yourself through it. Love yourself the whole time, and you're sending that out into the universe. You're sending that out into the universe, and that signal says, universe, this is how I want to be loved. Show me this in my life. And you will meet people who will love you in that beautiful, beautiful way. I'm saying, when you are putting those frequencies out into the universe, you're going to bring those back into your life in the form of 3D, people, animals, friends, relationships, you guys, but it starts inside. It starts with loving yourself completely. I'm called to say that those of you who are experiencing, and I'm not saying myself is not included, those of you who are experiencing some crazy energy patterns in your life, some serious tumultuous ups and downs, or these same problems that seem to rise back up just a little bit different, or again and again and again, these loops that are going on, I'm called to say that what I'm seeing here is almost like a funnel cloud, like a tornado like this. And like when that first little thing, like I was talking about, those obstacles to get to go see that car that wasn't the car anyway, right? Those first little nudges that you get, this is not right for you. This doesn't resonate with you. And then we go, oh no, maybe it's just only, maybe it'll be better. Maybe, and it goes around, and then no, here it is again, and it's bigger. Here it is again, and it's bigger. And it's spirit calling you to release that. Release whatever that pattern is in your life that you know is preventing you from reaching that potential. I see the growth, but then there's that little pattern that's kind of just steps back a little bit, just a little bit. And we as a collective need to release that, however it falls in your life. But that spirit inviting you, that's why you're like, this again, because it hasn't been let go of yet. I'm Heidi Corona. Again, my website is spiritspeaks.org, and I would love to meet with you. If you vibe with me, check me out. I got a Facebook page. It's in the description box. I will see you guys next time, and I lift you into the light as well in any way that you need it in your life right now. I ask God to shine that light in your life, right through you, from the inside out, to transform your life into whatever you want it to be. Bye, guys. I send love and blessings.